Welcome back, everyone. We're on day 24 out of 50 now of our journey to scoring a 750 or higher on our SAT math section. So today we'll be tackling some more advanced math problems, and we're going to start over here. This is a physics problem, but deals with our parabola. A physics class is planning an experiment about a toy rocket. The equation y equals -16 times x minus 5.6 squared plus 502 gives the estimated height h or height y in feet of the toy rocket x seconds after it is launched into the air. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the vertex of the graph of the equation in the xy plane? Okay, so looking at our options, we have 502 feet, and then 16 and 5.6, 16 and 5.6. So to easily understand the purpose of each number, I'm going to write y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k is our vertex. Okay, with that said, we know that our vertex in this scenario is going to be 5.6 comma 502. So this is the x point theoretically, and this is the y point where the parabola is going to be at its minimum or maximum. And in this situation, since a is negative, it's going to be a parabola like this, and that means it will have a maximum. Therefore, at 5.6 seconds, the rocket will reach a height of 502 feet. Looking at our answers, the rocket reaches an estimated maximum height of 502 feet after 16 seconds. 16 is wrong, so that's wrong. So our rocket reaches an estimated maximum height of 502 feet after 5.6 seconds. That is correct. So that's going to be our answer. And yeah, moving on to the next question. Which ordered pair is a solution to the system of equations above? Okay, so we have our system of equations. And remember, there are two ways of doing this. You can add, or you can solve for a variable and then plug that variable into the other equation. So that's what we're going to do. So we have here that x is equal to y plus 1. And then we're going to substitute x into here. So we have, I'm going to write this out again. X plus y is equal to x squared minus 3. So y plus 1 plus y is equal to y plus 1 squared minus 3. So we have 2y plus 1 is equal to y squared plus 2y plus 1 minus 3. And then we get y squared. These cancel out. Plus 1 minus 3 is -2. We add that to that side, and that's going to be 3. So we get y is equal to plus or minus the square root of 3. Now, with that fact now uncovered, we can plug in to one of the original equations. I'm going to choose this one because it's a little more simple, and I'm going to plug in y. And we have two y variables, so I'm going to write this out a little easier to see. And we're going to plug in square root of 3 first. So we have x, we're solving for x, and we know that x is equal to y plus 1, which we did up here. So x is equal to square root of 3 plus 1. So now we know that this and this creates a coordinate point of square root of 3 plus 1, comma, square root of 3. And looking at our answers, we can see that that is answer A. We can also do it for the other point over here, where it would be x equals y plus 1, and then x is equal to -3 plus 1, but we don't have the coordinate -3 plus 1, comma, -3. That's not an answer choice. So A is our answer for this question. Looking at the next problem, which of the following is equivalent to the expression x to the fourth minus x squared minus 6? So this is a factoring type of question. I factor with this method, the ACB method. And this is pretty much, you look at your coefficients. We have a coefficient of 1 and a coefficient of -6 here for our A and our C, and we multiply them. So 1 times -6, that's going to give us -6, and then we just take our B coefficient, which is -1. So I'm going to write this down here. We know that, well, with this method, you need to have two numbers that when multiplied equal -6 and when added get -1. So in this situation, we're going to have -3 times 2 is going to give us -6, and when -3 is added to 2, we get -1. So that's why this works in this situation. And then you take these two numbers and you set a factored expression up like this, and then you would just plug each of these in. Since this is a positive, it's going to be positive. Since that's a negative, it's going to be negative. However, since when we factor, it's usually x squared minus x minus 6 and not x to the fourth minus x squared minus 6, we have to square each of these. So that's a very important little fact you need to know. So looking at this, our factor expression, we can see that B is going to be the exact same. These are just flip-flopped. Okay. Looking at our next problem, 2x plus 5 squared minus x minus 2 plus 2 times x plus 2. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? Okay, so this is simply just evaluating the expression. So we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 minus x minus 2 plus 2x plus 6. So the reason I kept this in parentheses is because we have to distribute the negative. And right here, this is just that simplified. Okay, so now we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 minus x plus 2, because the negative times a negative is positive, plus 2x plus 6. Okay, so we have 4x squared, and then we look at all our x terms. We have 20, we have -1, and we have 2. So that's going to give us plus 21x. So we can cancel these out now. And then we have our remainder of constants, 25, 27, 33. And this is going to be our answer. We look at our choices. That's going to give us option A. Okay. We're going to do this last problem for today. The equation above is true for all x, where a and b are constants. What is the value of a, b? Okay, so looking at this equation, if both of these sides are equal, we know that the constants have to fill in to equate to this side. So take a look at this equation, and I'm going to rewrite it down here, but distributed. So we have 5ax squared, right now I'm just foiling, minus abx squared. This would be x cubed, sorry. And then plus 4ax plus 15x squared minus 3bx plus 12. And now we're going to set this equal to this expression down here. Okay, so we know I'm going to rearrange this now so that our x squared terms are together and our x's are together. So we have 5ax cubed minus abx squared plus 15x squared And then we have our x terms, minus 3bx plus 4ax. And then we have plus 12. Okay, so looking at this expression, we can see that 20x squared has to be equivalent to 5ax squared, or 20x cubed must be equal to 5ax cubed. Sorry about that. So we know that our a must be 4. So we'll write down here, a is equal to 4. So we have 20x cubed, since we already solved for that, and then these two must equal negative 9x squared. So we're gonna solve down here a little expression for this. So negative 9x squared is equal to negative abx squared plus 15x squared. We know that a is 4, so we're going to plug in negative 9x squared is equal to negative 4bx squared plus 15x squared. Now we can factor out an x squared from this side, and we're going to get negative 4b plus 15. And then this gives us a negative 9x squared on this side. We can cancel out the x squares from both sides. We get negative 9 is equal to negative 4b plus 15. We move the 15 over here. We get negative 4b is equal to negative 24. And we get b is equal to 6. So, and we also know that a is equal to 4. So what's the question asking for? The value of ab. And what is that going to give us? Well, a times b is equal to 4 times 6. So our answer is going to be 24. If you found these problems helpful today, please subscribe. Once again, the channel is going to continue posting these videos until we get up to that day 50. And I really hope that it's helping you guys along the way to scoring your target score on that SAT math section for August. And please let me know if you guys want me to make any other sort of type of video for these upcoming days. I'm open to any suggestions, and I'll see you guys on day 25.